Yo, what is up, sports fans? Welcome back to the Roger Report, where we break down all the biggest plays and wildest moments in the game. Get ready, because we've got a packed show with huge news dropping right now. First up, did Russell Wilson just channel his inner vintage self, launching moon balls and nearly pulling off an unbelievable upset against the Giants, only to have fate snatch it away in the most heartbreaking fashion imaginable? Then, we dive deep into the numbers, because Russell Wilson put up absolutely monster stats in that tough overtime loss. We're talking career-high territory. But wait, it gets crazier. As we unpack how Russell Wilson's epic performance against Brian Schottenheimer's Cowboys ended in absolute chaos, with one critical play sealing their fate. And finally, we've got to talk about Russell Wilson turning into a pumpkin at the worst possible moment, completely spoiling what was shaping up to be a vintage masterpiece for the Giants in their overtime defeat. You do not want to miss this one. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a moment. Russell Wilson nearly delivered a miracle, but the Giants fell just short. In a game that had fans on the edge of their seats, quarterback Russell Wilson channeled his inner prime self, launching deep passes and orchestrating a dramatic comeback attempt for the Giants against the Dallas Cowboys. It looked like a vintage performance was about to seal a stunning upset victory. Wilson delivered a dazzling display, hitting explosive plays and keeping the Giants in contention throughout a back-and-forth affair. The defining moment appeared to be a spectacular 48-yard touchdown pass to Malik Neighbors late in the fourth quarter, a true moonball that put the Giants ahead and seemed to seal the win. He was carving up the Cowboys' defense, making throws that evoked memories of his greatest hits, leaving analysts and fans alike in awe of his resurgence. The incredible offensive output and clutch plays had the fanbase buzzing, with many believing this was the game that would silence the critics and turn the Giants' season around. However, the defense couldn't hold, and a crucial interception in overtime ultimately sealed their fate. But what exactly went wrong in those final, agonizing moments of overtime? Stay tuned as we dissect Russell Wilson's unbelievable stat line and what it means for his future with the Giants. Russell Wilson's career day overshadowed by a heartbreaking OT loss. Despite the devastating outcome, quarterback Russell Wilson put on an offensive clinic for the Giants against the Cowboys, showcasing a level of play many thought they wouldn't see again. Wilson completed an astounding 30 of 41 passes for a massive 450 yards and 3 touchdowns, narrowly missing a new career high in passing yards. He connected frequently with his receivers, particularly Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson, who both had huge games thanks to Wilson's pinpoint accuracy and willingness to push the ball downfield. This performance was a stark contrast to his Week 1 debut, and demonstrated that he still possesses the arm talent and vision that made him a star. The sheer volume of yardage and touchdowns generated significant buzz, with many fans and analysts pointing to this as proof that Wilson still has plenty left in the tank, potentially buying him more job security despite earlier speculation about a rookie transition. But was this stellar performance enough to erase the sting of a critical late-game turnover? We're breaking down every angle of Russell Wilson's career day and its chaotic conclusion against the Cowboys. Chaos reigned as Russell Wilson's vintage performance ended in a brutal loss. In a game that will be remembered for its wild swings and dramatic moments, Russell Wilson delivered a performance for the ages against the Dallas Cowboys, only for a single play to undo it all. Wilson was on fire, torching the Cowboys' secondary with a barrage of impressive throws, including several signature moon balls that had the crowd roaring. He finished the day with a remarkable stat line: 30 completions on 41 attempts for 450 yards and 3 touchdowns. He even connected on a go-ahead touchdown pass to Malik Neighbors late in the fourth quarter, a play that felt like the game winner. However, the narrative shifted dramatically in overtime. After the Cowboys forced the extra period, Wilson's final pass attempt was intercepted by Donovan Wilson, a costly turnover that directly led to the Cowboys' game-winning field goal. The pick spoiled what was otherwise an electrifying comeback effort and a career-defining performance for the veteran quarterback. That fateful interception turned a potential triumph into a crushing defeat. What does this mean for the Giants' season and Russell Wilson's future? Get ready as we dive into the details of how Russell Wilson's spectacular day unraveled in the most dramatic fashion. Russell Wilson's stellar outing turned sour with a critical overtime interception. In a game that had all the makings of a classic upset, Russell Wilson delivered a vintage performance for the Giants, but a late-game mistake ultimately cost them dearly. For most of the afternoon, Wilson was spectacular, leading the Giants on multiple scoring drives and keeping pace with the high-powered Cowboys offense. He showcased his arm strength and playmaking ability, culminating in a stunning 48-yard touchdown pass to Malik Neighbors that put the Giants ahead with under a minute left in regulation. At that point, he was putting up numbers that would have cemented this game as one of his greatest achievements. However, the momentum shifted in overtime. Under pressure on his final pass attempt, Wilson lofted a deep ball that floated too far, leading to an interception by Donovan Wilson. This costly turnover gave the Cowboys prime field position, and they capitalized with a game-winning field goal, handing the Giants a devastating 0-2 start to the season. That single interception cast a shadow over an otherwise brilliant performance. Could this be the moment that accelerates a change at quarterback for the Giants? Stick around as we break down the full impact of Russell Wilson's roller coaster day and what comes next. And that's a wrap on another wild week of football. Russell Wilson delivered a vintage moonball masterpiece, but it ended in a heartbreaking OT loss for the Giants. We saw Russell Wilson rack up massive yards and touchdowns, proving he's still got it, even in defeat. Russell Wilson's epic game against the Cowboys devolved into chaos thanks to one pivotal play. And finally, Russell Wilson's spectacular performance was spoiled by a late interception, turning a potential win into a tough loss. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the Roger Report for all your sports breakdowns, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, drop a comment with your thoughts on these games, and follow us on all our socials for even more exclusive content. We'll see you next time.